Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the things you use every single day. We're going inside the factory to uncover the hidden intelligence that goes into making all those plastic objects around us. You'd be surprised, making something that seems as simple as a bottle cap is actually a super high-tech process, and it's full of mind-bending complexity.
All right, let's just start with this. Take a quick look around you right now. Seriously, you've probably got your computer mouse, maybe a pen, the case on your phone. Plastic is literally everywhere. And the challenge, the real trick, is making each one of those objects perfectly, not once, but millions and millions of times over. That is one of the biggest puzzles in modern manufacturing.
So from the dashboard in your car to critical life-saving medical devices, our world is built on these incredibly precise plastic parts, and a huge number of them are made using a process called injection molding. It is, without a doubt, a cornerstone of how we make things today, turning these tiny plastic pellets into the complex shapes that we all depend on.
And the scale here is it's staggering. Think about it. More than a third of all thermoplastics on the entire planet get shaped by this one single process. That just goes to show you how powerful and efficient it is. But it also means that even the tiniest little mistake, when it's repeated a million times a day, adds up to a mountain of waste and a huge cost.
And that brings us right to the heart of the matter, what we call the perfect copy problem. I mean, it sounds simple, right? The machine should just stamp out a perfect clone of a part every few seconds. But in the real world, nope. Getting that perfect consistency every single time is an enormous technical challenge.
So let's do a super quick walkthrough of the process itself. It's like this high-speed ballet of physics. First, bam! Molten plastic is shot into a mold under incredible pressure. Then, more plastic is packed in to make sure it's dense. After that, it has to cool down and become solid. And finally, prop! It gets ejected. And this whole dance can happen in just a matter of seconds. So what happens when that high-speed ballet is even a tiny bit out of sync? Well, you get defects. You get sink marks, where the surface just caves in on itself. You get warpage, which twists the part out of shape. Flash, that's where extra plastic squeezes out of the sides. Even a tiny difference in weight from one part to the next can mean failure. And these aren't just ugly little mistakes, they represent real money and real resources, materials, energy, time, just thrown away. And this right here is why it's so incredibly hard to get right. This isn't just a simple A plus B equals C equation. It's this chaotic storm of variables. You've got pressure, temperature, how thick or runny the plastic is, and they're all interacting with each other in these complex nonlinear ways. For researchers and engineers, trying to model this has been a massive headache for decades. You tweak one little thing over here, and you can throw 10 other things completely out of whack.
For years, the only way to manage this chaos was to rely on the gut feeling and the years of experience of a skilled human operator. But that's all changing. A totally new way of thinking is taking over, and it's all driven by data and artificial intelligence. This is the era of the smart factory.
Now, the ultimate goal of the smart factory is this concept called zero defect manufacturing, or ZDM. And the core idea here is to completely flip the script. You move from being reactive to being predictive. So instead of making a batch of parts and then checking for mistakes, the whole point of ZDM is to stop those mistakes from ever even happening.
But what's really fascinating is that this ambition, this idea of getting it right the first time, it's not new at all. I mean, look at this. People were talking about this exact goal way back in 1966. So the desire has been there for more than half a century. The big difference is that now, today, we finally have the tech to actually pull it off.
And this is where AI steps onto the stage. If zero-defect manufacturing is the destination, then AI is the engine that gets us there. It provides these superhuman senses and an analytical brain that can watch the process with a level of detail that is just physically impossible for a person.
An AI can track over 20 of these critical variables, not just once an hour, but in real time for every single part being made. We're talking about things like the precise pressure curve, tiny fluctuations in the plastic's viscosity, the exact peak force of the machine clamping shut. I mean, no human could ever hope to track all of that at once. It's like having a master craftsman with the brain of a supercomputer overseeing every single cycle.
And the difference between the old way and the new way, it's just night and day. The traditional method is all about reacting. A skilled person sees a bad part and then tries to figure out how to fix the machine. The AI-driven method, though, is predictive. It sifts through millions of data points to see a problem before it happens, and then adjusts the machine on the fly to prevent it.
It's the difference between navigating by the stars and navigating with a live GPS. So okay, you need an AI for the job, but which one? Well, researchers basically set up a head-to-head competition, putting several different machine learning models to the test to see which one could most accurately predict the quality of a part based on that live data. And as you can see, the results, they varied a lot. And the performance of the winning model, this hybrid called PSO plus C4.5, was just incredible. It hit a G-mean score of over 99%. Now, G-mean is a really important metric for this kind of work because it's designed to be accurate even when you have way more good examples than bad ones, which is exactly what you hope for in a factory. A score this high means the AI has an almost perfect knack for telling a good part from a bad one, just by listening to the machine's data as it works.
You can really see the performance gap right here. The winning model wasn't just a little bit better, it was a huge leap ahead of the other advanced AIs. This is the kind of rock-solid precision you absolutely need if you're going to build a truly automated quality control system on a real factory floor.
So this predictive power is already changing how factories work. But here's the thing, we're really just scratching the surface. The next step in this evolution isn't just about predicting failure anymore, it's about creating systems that can continuously and autonomously learn and get better all on their own.
And researchers are pushing toward two amazing new frontiers. The first is called transfer learning. Okay, imagine an AI that learns everything there is to know about one machine. Now, what if it could just transfer all that experience to a brand new machine, cutting the setup time from days down to minutes? The second is explainable AI, or XAI. This is huge. This is about teaching the AI to tell us why it's making its decisions, turning it from this mysterious black box into a genuine partner that human engineers can actually learn from. So when you put all this together, the end result is this massive paradigm shift. Factories stop being these static, rigid production lines. They become living, intelligent ecosystems that are constantly learning from every single part they make, always optimizing themselves for better quality, better efficiency, and better sustainability.
And this leaves us with a final, really big thought. As these incredibly intelligent systems become more and more autonomous, the role of people in the factory is going to change. It'll shift away from just operating the machine to supervising the whole system, to innovating, and to asking much bigger questions, like what amazing new products can we design now? What new materials could we possibly invent? The smart factory doesn't just promise us perfect parts, it promises to unlock a whole new level of human creativity.